possible to grow on Twitch in 2021? Well, we've got all of the information for you. What were the trends in 2020 that are going to inform what happens on Twitch in 2021? Sneak preview, the number of channels and the amount of viewership on Twitch doubled in 2020 because of COVID-19, but now it's on a downward slope. Will that continue? We'll let you know. Also, the top categories on Twitch that people are streaming to and are getting the most viewership have changed dramatically over the course of 2020. What are those top trends that you can potentially be streaming and jump on board with to be a part of the future of the platform? We'll cover that by the numbers. Also, we'll teach you very tactical things about how you guys can find unsaturated games to play in your home studio and potentially get growth so you can get out of that 1, 2, 3, 4 viewer range and move over to the maybe 5, 10, 20 viewer range to get your foot in the door. I believe Ross was the wording that Ross used. We'll teach you that tactic in the episode today as well. And we're going to teach you all about how you can make more money and what Twitch is focusing on as a business. It's really important to understand what Twitch is focusing on as a business and how that's going to impact you, including new multiplayer ads that are in testing right now. They're trying to gamify advertising. Everything is changing so much. So if you watch all the way to the end, you'll have a complete understanding of where Twitch is going and how you can grow. Let's pay the bills. This podcast is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster? Using Restream. Ross, you're up, Ross.
Wonderful. Q1 2020. That was when COVID started to hit. And as you can see on the graph, there was a slight increase, but then it was between Q1 and Q2 when everything went on lockdown that it just shot up. The amount of viewership, everything went skyrocket on Twitch. And then Q3 comes along and we're starting to see a little bit of a decline. But the increase was so massive, Perrin. Is it possible for those numbers to come back down all the way to reality, or is COVID going to result in a permanent growth in 2020 moving forward for Twitch?
I think it might actually be a permanent growth. I mean, we're still, at least in the United States, we're still really in the midst of it, if not even more in the thick of COVID-19 and a pandemic than we were back in Q1 2020. And so I think in a previous episode, we predicted that these numbers might go down, but if you look, and we got some more data over here on Twitch Tracker today. If you look at the current average live viewers as of, and I believe this is past 7 days, but they don't actually say here, but the rest of their site data is past 7 days. We're 2.7 million, which means that we are way back up. Actually, if it stays this way, or maybe this is just a temporary peak, but this would mean that we are actually back up above the previous high of 2.3. And so why are we talking about these numbers? You have to understand the numbers if you want to understand how to attack this platform as a creator and get the most out of it in 2021. If there is going to be more concurrent viewership, that is huge, because right now the main issue is that there's a lot of concurrent viewership, but the number of unique channels has been growing while viewership has been declining, which means it's more highly competitive. If concurrent viewership continues to increase at this type of rate from 2.1 to 2.7, now we're talking about a little bit more open room to grow, a little bit less competitive. There might be some more opportunity to actually get some viewership here. That's a huge deal on Twitch because Twitch doesn't have an algorithm. And we've talked about this also in previous episodes. Why is that important, AWOL? Do you want to go through that one real quick?
Yes, let's talk about why they're not having an algorithm is good in this case. So when you go live or when you release a video on YouTube, Twitter, on Facebook, or any platform with an algorithm, you have to punch through, right? Let's talk about YouTube, the example that you guys are familiar with. So when you release a video on YouTube, you have to get clicks on that video. And then when people click, they have to watch all the way through. Then YouTube will serve your content to more people. And the Facebook algorithm works similar to that, where on Facebook, you have to get people to click, then they have to watch and engage, then they'll serve more of your content to people, etc. Whereas on Twitch itself, you can just have people follow you and they'll just get a notification that you're live. And the fact that there's not an algorithm means that when you get followers on Twitch, they are a more meaningful and a more engaged follower than on these other platforms where you're gated by an algorithm. So you actually get to reach your own people, if you will, from Twitch. And that's why we talk a lot about, if you're going to do a call to action to one platform, you're doing shout outs on Twitter, you're doing shout outs on YouTube, you're doing shout outs on TikTok, Instagram, etc., to one social media platform, that most valuable platform might be Twitch, because once you send people there, you don't have to punch through some stupid algorithm to reach your own followers. It's amazing. For those of you with a marketing background or have thought about marketing, it's like email or text messages. Why does so much marketing happen through email? Why do you get so much email spam, right? You guys have seen email spam in your inbox because there's no algorithm filtering that, or there's less algorithm filtering that. Why do you get so much junk mail in your mailbox at your house or your apartment? Because there's no algorithm filtering the messages coming in. You see what I mean? Where there's no algorithm, where there's no filter to reach people and to get their attention, that's where the most valuable opportunities are for you to build an audience. Does that make sense? Back to you, Perrin.
Okay, so real quick, what strategy worked in 2020 that could still work in 2021? We're gonna look at that. We actually figured out something here on the cast. This is something that I tested myself, and this is something that you can do to begin getting at least a beginning level of growth, going from 0 to 5, 0 to 10, 0 to 20 concurrent viewers. You can pick up that on Twitch. It is possible, but you aren't gonna be able to do that with Fortnite, first of all. So if you're thinking about doing that with Fortnite, just forget it.
No, not Fortnite. Why not Fortnite though? It's supply and demand, right?
Yeah, so basically with Twitch, because there is no algorithm, it's all about being at the top and getting noticed and clicked on, literally by being at the top of the hierarchy, by having the most viewership. There's no other way to get noticed. There's so many users streaming Fortnite that there's no way that you'll get to the top or even close. In fact, you'll be so far down a scroll list. I did a test where I scrolled down Fortnite for 45 minutes and I still did not get to the 45 minutes. I did this live too. I did a live stream where I scrolled down for 45 minutes straight, and I still did not get to the bottom where I got to 3 concurrent viewers. I didn't get down to 0. So if you have 5 or less, you got to think about that. It would take somebody 45 minutes to scroll just to find you organically. That's never going to happen. Literally, you have 0 chance of ever growing. Literally 0.
Yeah, I'd say so. So how do you find those unsaturated games then, amigo?
So you want to look for games, and I always use Mobile Legends as an example because this is the one I've tested and that I do myself. But you want to look for a game that has relatively low viewers, relatively high followers, but more importantly, you want to take a look down at the concurrent viewers down here at the top 2 rows, at the top 10 streams, because the whole goal is you want to try to place yourself in the top 10 streams of any given category. Because if so, then without even scrolling, on the first page load, they can find your stream and they can potentially click it. And that's what you need. You just need to get clicks into your stream. So right now for Mobile Legends, what would it take to get into the top 10 if we scroll? I do have to scroll a little bit here because I'm zoomed in a bit. But if we look at number 10, number 10 has 12 viewers. So you would need to have higher than 12 concurrent viewers to get into these top 2 rows. So that's the formula, is you take a look at what is it going to take to be top 10, and can I do that with this game? If so, then you'll get regular traffic, you'll get regular users coming into your stream, they'll follow, and you can grow. And this works even at 0 because you can find a game that's a little even less here than Mobile Legends that has even less players that you can mine up. But also, if you look, even if you weren't top 10 on Mobile Legends, there's just not that many streams. There's not that many streams. There's not that much competition. It all comes down again to supply and demand. And with Mobile Legends, there's clearly more demand than there is supply. Make your own assessments. There are definitely other games out there on Twitch that are like this that you can find. You can stream as a brand new person and grow, but you have to be willing to go after a game that maybe you don't want to play as much, but you really, really want to grow. Okay. I found a nice sweet spot. I do like Mobile Legends. I do like MOBA style games. So I lucked out. There's tons of other games I prefer to play for sure, but Mobile Legends helps me grow my community and helps me grow my stream. It's got plenty of depth. I can play it forever. I can rank up forever. And it's good. You want to find something like this. So that's a great example. Like I said, there's more out there. that's the strategy for 2020. That is going to work just as well in 2021. But like I said, it's only really good for beginning to 15, beginning to 20 to 30, maybe concurrent viewership growth. After that, you're going to have to take it to the next level. So we want to talk about the creators in 2020 who have taken it to the next level. Ross, we hit some on a previous episode. Do you want to brief us there? What were the big creators on Twitch? What are they doing in 2020 that worked?
Well, number one of the things they're doing that work that we saw in 2020, which was a huge, I guess, kind of unprecedented movement on Twitch, is actually the movement away from playing video games at all. And I want to talk about this. Talking for a second, AWOL, about the opportunity that something like just chatting brings, or that we saw like AOC. She came into their Twitch ring and just blew up immediately. I mean, she was playing games, but it was more of a political stream. What does this mean for the platform in 2021? And what does this mean for people who are trying to grow? Is just chatting something that maybe you need to work into your Twitch strategy a little bit?
Yeah, so here's the stream that he's talking about, the stream in question. AOC, who's a politician, if you're not familiar, who's younger than most, played obviously Among Us and had a massive hundreds of thousands of concurrents live stream. And then she had a political message at the end of the live stream, which reached lots of young people. So you might be like, okay, that's some sort of one-off. That's not the future of streaming. Well, if we take a look at the numbers on Twitch and where everything is going right now, just chatting, we predicted about a year ago that just chatting would be the #1 category on Twitch moving forward. And as each month has progressed, just chatting has taken over a larger and larger and larger portion of the pie. I've got the numbers on the screen here. Let's take a look at them right now. Just chatting, even just recently, this is maybe in the last 7 days here, as you can see, bigger than every other game on Twitch in terms of the amount of viewers. And last week, I looked at the numbers, it had 14% of the total pie of viewership on the platform. In the last 7 days, it has 12% of the pie of viewership on the platform. And this number is probably only going to increase over time. So what does this mean for our viewers out there that are watching? This means that you need to be thinking about Twitch as a platform where you're not playing video games as your primary strategy. Maybe you're playing games on the side. Maybe playing games is just a part of what you do. But chatting with your audience and talking about something unique is the big opportunity moving forward. Are you into DIY? Talk about do-it-yourself stuff. Are you into politics? Talk about politics. Are you into cooking food? Talk about cooking food, maybe go into your kitchen. What are you an expert on? What do you love talking about outside of video games that you can share your audience? That is the huge trend that's happening in 2020, moving into 2021. What is the non-video game thing that you are into that you can talk with audiences about to have a unique strategy and to have unique value? Because guess what? Nobody gives a shit about you playing video games on your computer anymore. Perrin said it on a previous episode. The novelty of playing video games and streaming them on the screen is over, man. Nobody cares that you can play a game unless you're absolutely phenomenal at it or you're doing something completely unique with it while you're in your studio. What they may care about is your expertise, some unique ideas that you have, some sort of unique thing that you have to say about something that's happening in the world or some other area during your stream. That's the future of streaming on Twitch. And what you can do is you can take the content that you're recording here in your studio while you're streaming on Twitch, and then you can take clips of that to upload on social media, and you can take cuts of that and upload to your YouTube channel. And then what you do, you tell people to do one thing in those clips, you tell people to do one thing in those YouTube videos, and that is, if you liked this, come watch me do it live on Twitch every blibbity blop blibbity bloop day of the week. And you can think of Twitch as the place that you record your content that you're going to be releasing on social media and YouTube platforms moving forward. And just chatting is the vehicle that you can use to do that, because just chatting allows you to cover any topic that you're interested in. And viewers demand more just chatting. The numbers prove it. It's right on your fucking screen right now. Back to you, Ross.
A little bit of attitude there. I like it. A little spunk on a Wednesday morning. Let's talk about Twitch affiliate moving in to 2021. This is going to be a quick conversation. We've already talked about it in the past and how it's probably not going to be worth it depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Have you seen anything moving into 2021 that said, hey, becoming a Twitch affiliate will help you grow on this platform? That's what I thought.
Oh.
No.
I know. Answer the question.
Okay, so I have people commenting on our videos where we made like a 30-minute plea. Don't become a Twitch affiliate for the love of God. None of those benefits are worth it. None of them. I'm gonna cry. Perrin, do you have anything to add to this? Like, say something.
So, like in 2020, it's a bad idea to be exclusive on Twitch when you're not even a newbie yet. You're barely even starting to grow, and you're already gonna lock yourself into an exclusivity deal. Binding legally with Twitch, it just sounds like the old decision to go join an MCN as a YouTuber, and then they wouldn't even read, and they would just sign the dotted line, and they would be wondering why they're losing 50 to 60% of the revenue. Don't sign binding legal agreements that limit your ability to grow when you've just started. It's just not a good idea. This is why we recommend Restream. This is why we recommend you don't need a Twitch affiliate, and they've made it into a marketing thing. The thing that you need it is like this thing you need to achieve to prove that you've kind of made it. Guess what? If you've got Twitch affiliate, you haven't made it. You haven't done jack shit. So it's just something they've sold you marketing wise so that they can get more money out of you, and they can entice more creators to sign binding legal agreements with them. There's literally no point to do it. At that point in your creator path, you should be sowing seeds on different platforms to see what hits. This is why we use Restream to see maybe Facebook Gaming hits, and you don't have to lock yourself in exclusivity deal to even have subscriptions or to make star donations on Facebook Gaming. So you could do Twitch, you could do Facebook Gaming, you could do YouTube, all simultaneously. You could do Trovo if you wanted to, and find out which one's going to get you growth. And then later on, when you actually have some traction, you could pick one and then go exclusive if you need to. But I would still argue exclusivity is something that in 2021 creators should not give up so easily. That not being non-exclusive gives you power over other platforms, and you want to have at least a little bit of leverage in negotiations with Twitch if you ever do have some success. So cue a Restream ad because I'm talking about that.
Well, he already put it on the screen there. And one thing I'd like to add, we are paid by Restream, by the way. We used it for years before they paid us, but we need to disclose that. We already disclosed at the beginning. But one thing I want to add here, when you go Twitch affiliate, they take 50% of your revenue for things like subs and bits. Why would you give them 50% of your revenue when you can go on Patreon, and Patreon will give you over 90% of the revenue people are paying you with subscriptions? Also, with Twitch Bits, Twitch takes 30% of that revenue. Why would you let Twitch take 30% when you can get 97.5%, I believe, with transaction fees through direct donations? So if you want to make money now and you think your audience is willing to give you money now, Twitch affiliate is going to end up you losing a significant portion of that money with your dedicated fans that you think you can monetize today. So nothing about Twitch affiliate makes any sense at all. Do not become a Twitch affiliate. We highly recommend restreaming. We restream between our team here 3 times every day. On the Digital Drop podcast, Perrin restreams on his. He's a gaming live streamer on Facebook Gaming primarily and these other platforms. And I do it for my AWOL Digital podcast. We use it 3 times per day, and it's growing us faster, and that's why we recommend it. But wait, there's more. Ross, we just talked about money a little bit. Is Twitch a business? And does Twitch like making money? Is that something they may be looking at in the future?
I have a feeling it's going to be kind of prioritized in 2021, yes.
Kinda.
Just a little.
So why is that? What indicators are we getting here? Perrin, you got something pulled up on your screen. What are these multiplayer ads with epic gamer times here? So what's Twitch trying to pull off here, amigo?
So Twitch in 2020 has been desperately trying to find a way to increase advertising on their platform. You know, it stands to look at. I don't think Twitch was actually making much money as a business. They got bought by Amazon, and I think in working with their Amazon and Jeff Bezos overlord, they're saying, Twitch, you need to actually like make some money for our investors. You need to advertise the hell out of these gamers. What are you even doing? And so now the ads are coming. The first rendition was just more ads, which obviously nobody on the platform liked, and there was a huge backlash. So now it looks like Twitch is actually putting a little bit of thought into how they're going to do advertising with multiplayer ads. What the hell is
they're
it?
Epic Gamer ads.
Wow,
Oh, cool. Gamer ads.
Oh.
You can watch ads together as a viewer experience, and then it gives
Oh,
bits
wow.
to your creator so you can tell that you're supporting them, which actually I do like that idea. If I'm going to
Yeah, I
have to
like it too.
suffer and my eyes are going to have to bleed by watching 10,000 advertisements, at least my favorite streamer gets some goddamn bits out of it. So this is better than what they were doing in the past. I think this could actually work, and they actually implemented a feature on their platform and did a little bit of programming instead of just giving us more ads. So that bodes well for the platform in the future. But the whole gist for 2021 is Twitch is going to continue to try to find more ways to get more advertisements in front of more gamers' eyeballs, because that is how they're going to make money. So you should expect this coming down the plate in 2021. As a creator, this is good for you. It's good for you for Twitch to make more revenue, because it should ideally give you more revenue opportunities, like this feature that they just put together. This should technically give you more revenue opportunity. So hopefully that's a good thing. But creators, please stay on top of Twitch and make them responsible for doing this in a way that's going to work for their platform. Otherwise, they're just going to shove as many ads down your throat as they can. And that will not work for any parties involved. So name of the game, 2021, more ads, because Twitch is a business and they weren't doing so hot in 2020, even with the increased viewership. They aren't making that much money in reality.
One thing we need to talk about, we actually didn't even plan to talk about this, but we have to because it can absolutely affect your growth on Twitch in 2021, is the DMCA that is coming in, and it's coming in heavy. Just real quick, what are a few tips for growing in this year, but also avoiding DMCA takedowns? Because I have a feeling that's going to be a major storyline for Twitch moving forward this year.
Yeah, I got a couple for you guys. So number one, buy a music license that is specifically targeted toward this space and is relatively safe. So right now we're actually playing music using Pretzel Rocks on the stream right now, and they've got different YouTube safe modes and what have you that you can do for Pretzel Rocks. Great idea to license music potentially from them. Also, Monster Cat Gold is an option that's officially endorsed by Twitch. It can help you avoid these DMCAs if you want to play music. And you can do other music licenses and other services that individuals are offering. Try to get an agreement in your hands. Try to get a license in your hands from whoever's giving you the music. You need to have a PDF. You need to have something signed that tells you you have the rights to distribute the music and to monetize it commercially. There are services out there like Stream Beats. Even Roberto Blake is doing his own independent music thing. You need to get an agreement in your hands that says you have the rights to distribute and monetize any music that you play on your streams. If you don't have that, if you're not 100% confident of that, if you're thinking this might be safe, don't play it on your live stream on Twitch. You could be permanently banned from that platform and maybe even liable to damages moving forward. One thing that's really, really scary that happened in 2020 is a part of the US, I don't want to bore you with congressional law, but Tom Tillis, US Senator Tom Tillis, pushed forward a law that turns using copyright content in your studio and broadcasting that on the internet from a misdemeanor to a felony. And a part of the language of this law subjects streamers on the internet, and they're targeting pirating websites primarily, but it still subjects anyone who's streaming copyright content on the internet to 3 to 5 years in prison. So that is possible. And so obviously, is that gonna happen to Twitch streamers? Probably not. But it is now possible for it to happen on Twitch streamers. And so now we're counting on music companies and platforms to have your back and to be good people and to be good actors. We're counting on politicians and enforcement to be good people and to be good actors. And Perrin, for you as a prominent live streamer out there, do you trust the federal government and mega corporations to have your back as a streamer? Yes or no?
I rely on EA to have my back all the time, actually. No, yeah. So with music, I am extremely careful, and there's literally no reason to take the risk to try to just play, that one popular song that you maybe not have the rights for, but maybe it would be really entertaining for the stream. Honestly, if you even think that way, you kind of have a failed stream concept to begin with. You shouldn't be relying heavily on your music on the stream for entertainment. It should really just be a nice background component, background music of your stream that kind of helps the vibe, like our show right now. So do research. Like you said, one of the best ways to think about it is, unless you have actual agreement in your hands, meaning like an email, it can be an email too, that has an attached PDF that gives you the rights to use the music, you probably don't have the rights to use it. And yes, we're not copyright lawyers, but we have done this thing for a while. We can at least give you some advice to steer clear of getting a DMCA strike. Even if you play music and you delete the video on Twitch later, that's showing that they still have it archived. They still have it on their servers, and technically you can still get claimed.
Oh, the government has bots.
Yeah.
The government has bots detecting all the quote unquote deleted content. You're right. You're not safe if you delete.
So you can't do it and then erase it and then get away with it. I mean, maybe you'll get away with it for a while, and most streamers will still probably get away with it for a while. But all it will take is for the music industry to say, hey, we're not making enough money. Let's go back and ream Twitch again for some more money, which
will happen.
Which that will definitely still happen. And so do you want to even take that risk? Is it worth the risk? It's just really, really not. And there are other music. There's so much other music you can use. There's lots of Creative Commons licensed music. There's lots of platforms popping up like Pretzel.rocks. Just do a little bit of research, find something that you feel comfortable with, double check and make sure, even contact them and get something legally binding, and get something in your hands that makes sure that you can at least defend yourself legally if push comes to shove. It's going to be an even rockier landscape in 2021. Out of all the things that you want to look at for 2021, this is the one that you need to be the most careful with. And I would spend the most time on making sure that you're doing the right thing. I would do the most research on it. It has the most ramifications if you get it wrong. Everything else, you can kind of be okay, but this one's huge.
Okay, let's end this episode with predictions based on everything we've talked about. The algorithm, we talked about Twitch affiliate, we talked about growth opportunities, just chatting, the COVID spike that led to massive viewership that is back on the rise. We talked about how to find unsaturated games to help you grow. Go ahead and make your predictions right now. When on January 6th, 2022, when we look back at 2021, are we going to say, wow, that was a massive year for growth opportunity that we may never see again? Is it just going to be normal? Like, you got to play your cards right to grow? Or is there going to be no growth whatsoever moving into the year? Make your predictions.
All right, I'll go first and I'll let Perrin go after me. So whether Twitch grows massively and gaming live streaming grows massively or not in 2021 depends on COVID-19. And so if there are additional strands of COVID that end up dropping, like the African strand that's immune to vaccines, or other strands that are, more deadly or maybe more contagious, if something like that happens in 2021 and the vaccines that are rolling out are ineffective at containing the virus, then we could potentially be looking at a spot where more people become unemployed and therefore more people are streaming and there's more viewership. So unfortunately, the success of the streaming landscape in Twitch is directly proportional to the suffering of human beings with the pandemic. And so those two things, my prediction is those two things will have a direct correlation, but we cannot predict that the virus will get worse at this point. What all the experts are saying is that we are actually probably at the worst point in terms of the virus, and it's only going to get better. So therefore, based on what the experts are saying about the pandemic, we're probably going to see a decline in viewership moving into this point in 2022. Probably a drop of 30 to 40% in terms of viewership from where we are at today. But you're going to see the number of channels streaming on Twitch probably continue to plateau or even increase, which means your odds of growing on Twitch overall will become worse and worse. We also predicted that just chatting would be a category that would dominate moving forward. I think just chatting will move from being a 12% portion of the pie on Twitch up to closer to 20% plus of total viewership on the platform moving forward, with politics really creeping in, podcasts really creeping in, and just general memes, commentary, and entertainment shows being huge and much bigger on Twitch moving forward, kind of taking a page from the book of the TV broadcasters of the past, the late night shows of the past. Those are my big predictions for 2021. Perrin, what are yours?
Mine are similar, so I'll try to be a little bit more nuanced. I think that Twitch will continue to grow in viewership until summer 2021. And I think that summer we will see this peak break. I think Twitch will hit 3 million concurrent viewership at some point before then as a top. So it'll hit a new maximum high. Just for reference, at the end of 2019, it was only at like 1.1 million concurrent viewers. So it will have tripled within less than 2 years, which will be absolutely insane. So, but by then it will go back down. We'll start to see that concurrent viewership decline around that summer. And I think you're going to still see the number of actual creators and number of channels continue to skyrocket up and up and up. The platform is only going to get more competitive. And one of the spaces where it will get more competitive are the non-gaming spaces. Yes, I do think just chatting will grow. I think a lot of those top players and medium-sized players are going to have more competition than they do now. Right now, it's very easy for one player to dominate like the whole political space. On Twitch, you're going to see more competitiveness there. You're going to see more players in that space. So competitiveness will increase. The opportunity for your average streamer will decrease. And the gaming opportunity, I think, is going to be the lowest it's ever been. You're really going to have to bring, the name of the game for 2021 will be, what do you bring to the table that isn't just you playing video games on a computer live? Because that's not new to us anymore. What are you going to give to us that's something different? Because everybody else here that's succeeding is giving us something unique, something entertaining, something valuable that we can really sit and watch and be entertained for a while. So what is that going to be from you? Gaming on the live streaming gaming platform isn't going to be good enough anymore. And so the whole game will be about what is that question mark thing that you figured out that brings your unique value that isn't gaming.
And not just your personality either, not just you thinking you're clever. That's not going to work either. Ross, get us out of here.
Yep, that was fantastic. By the way, you can listen to us all day long. You can say, wow, I know how to grow on Twitch now. I know exactly what I need to do. But unless you actually get out there and do it, it doesn't make a difference. Get out there. Don't be afraid to fail. Use everything we just taught you to your advantage. Use not having an algorithm to your advantage, which is something you're not going to get on